Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Ankerstar, and welcome to the Ankerstar Wealth Morning Show. Today, we're going to talk about three really important things that are going on this week. First of all, we have the Fed meeting Wednesday afternoon. Again, they meet Tuesday and Wednesday with 1 p.m. Central as far as them making their announcement on how much they're going to raise interest rates, expecting 3/4 of a point, possibly even a full point. We shall see. We're also going to talk about all the tech earnings we have this week. All kind of the heavy hitters are on board. And lastly, what to expect for Apple earnings on Thursday after the bell. But before we begin, as a reminder, this is a financial education presentation and should not be construed as personal financial advice. Full disclaimer information is available at ankerstarwealth.com. Now let's get started. And yes, welcome to the afternoon show. Sorry about that. Couldn't get out the door this morning. We had to drop Allison off at the airport. She's going to be up in Wisconsin all week. So she should probably be able to host the next few days, so you won't miss her, but she is up north where there are lots of cooler temperatures. All right, so here we go on the first topic, the Fed meeting this week. So whenever you have a market, and you can see where we'll just kind of go to the overall market, we're sitting here in the afternoon, it's almost 2 p.m. Central, and the market's flip-flopped all over the place, right? So NASDAQ everything was green this morning. NASDAQ went red first, and then the Dow and the S&P were both in the green for a while. Now they're all red. So here's what goes on during Fed meeting weeks is pretty much flip-flops, not too many big moves, and then you have the big announcement on Wednesday. Now, I don't have really any prediction on whether it's going to be 75 basis points or 100 basis points, which again is a full percent. However, the market's expecting 75. So if you would get 100, does that mean the market's going to sell off? Well, I don't know. It all depends. The market could celebrate both of those, but meaning that the Fed is continuing to do what they need to do to combat inflation. I've said all along that we'll probably overshoot to the upside. So I would lean, if I was sitting on the board, I would lean more towards the 1% and like, you know what, let's do this. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Instead of having that annoying cold, let's go ahead and break a bone. Let's get through it and move on. Right. So that's kind of what I'm predicting there that's what I would do. However, 75 basis points is kind of the middle of the road, stay on the path. So a lot of people may like that just better. So we'll see. But as far as the market, you wouldn't expect any major moves in the market. As far as putting money to work, whether you put money to work now or wait till afterwards, I mean, you're just guessing at that point. So why guess? If you have the money coming in, we're putting it to work here at Ankerstar Wealth. So that's what's going on that's the one major thing that's going on this week is the Federal Reserve meeting. And then the second one is all these tech earnings that are coming out. So we have the four most valuable U.S. companies plus Facebook, i.e. Meta, all reporting their quarterly results, between Tuesday and Thursday. So you got Alphabet, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and Meta, all, spread out there, as you can see here on the slide, if you can see that, starting tomorrow with Alphabet and Microsoft. What do I expect? Well, probably misses across the board, just due to the challenging environment that everybody's had. And then we'll see how they guide, right? So if they miss and guide down, you can expect to see a sell-off in these names. If they miss and keep guidance about the same going forward, I could see the market saying, okay, we've already sold off enough. We expected the miss. Let's just move on and things to go back higher. So I saw a statistic, 70% of the companies, 20% of the companies have reported and like 70% have beat earnings, which is really weird, but it's really tough for the bigger firms because they need everybody, all of their customers for beating earnings. So again, I don't expect anything breaking even here would be a fantastic week across the board for the big tech names. But if they take a step lower, that'll be a buying opportunity across all five of these names. These are, you go forward 2-3 years, you're going to be thrilled you bought either before or after earnings here, right? Because they're pretty good prices across the board. But specifically, so a lot of action this week. Specifically, I want to talk about Apple. Apple's unique in that it's a little stickier than the others, that it's not only a tech firm, but it's also considered a luxury firm. Very, very loyal fan base, a lot of subscription fees out there with Apple Care and the Apple Plus that gives you the Apple TV and the fitness stuff, a lot of just money rolling in the door. A lot of people replace their iPhones every year, aggressive buyback program, which they turn around and resell. So many ways to win. with Apple. And I know I'm a little bit biased, but their Apple content I think Apple content is some of the best out there. One of the latest shows they have is Loot, Loot. It's kind of a lighthearted comedy about having money. It's pretty fun if you want to check it out. But as far as, what's going to happen with Apple, as far as their earnings, is probably a miss, right? A lot of supply chain challenges, and that's really kind of not going away. So I'm optimistic over the long term that, sitting here at $150 per share is a pretty good place to buy. But it was just at 135 where we were, buying a little bit there. We've actually trimmed some of this with some rebalancing lately. So I really think pretty much pull out a coin and flip it on Thursday after the close as far as the stock is going to move. There's one trading strategy. It's either a collar or an iron condor. I can't remember which one it is offhand, but there is a way to play that, something's going to move. You want to play both ways, right? So if you were an options trader and you want to put on a trade around earnings, I do think that it's probably not going to trade sideways Thursday afternoon. Right. It's probably going to make a move one way or the other. Probably 3 to 5% is what I would guess. So if you collar around those points, you might be happy. So something to consider anyway. Overall, very exciting week for the market. Expect not much to go on until the Fed releases its minutes, and then Wednesday on into Thursday, especially if earnings have been good, you could see a nice move higher. If earnings have been bad, I would say this will be the antithesis of last week, where it's pretty much up most of the week and then kind of sold off at the end. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for checking in. And again, continue to bring your questions in. That's how I get our material. Please submit your questions as a comment through social media or directly to our email at vipservices@ankerstarwealth.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's all we have for today's show. I'm Steve Ankerstar, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.